Hope you've thawed out from that brutal Arctic attack that we had over the past several days. We do have a warm-up on the way, but buyer beware. Looks like a dirty warm-up with some snow breaking out ahead of a warm front for Monday and Monday afternoon. Probably ending as light rain, most likely more of a nuisance than anything else, but keep an eye on it. Wouldn't shock me if some places got a quick inch of snow from it. And then behind that, it really warms up later Tuesday and Wednesday. 50s look likely on Wednesday. And then another shot of cold for Friday into the early part of next weekend. And during the discussion, I'll talk about why it really hasn't snowed that much in our neck of the woods, especially closer to the coast, and what has to happen to change that. So let's get to work.
So this is the winter weather discussion for the week of January 27th. I'm cutting this a day early, so a special Saturday night edition. A big warm-up now being touted for the midweek. Taking a look at the 850 millibar temperature anomalized mean here off the NCEP site. Plus 12 and plus 14 anomalies at 850. So this is unseasonably mild stuff coming in for the midweek. But look what's brewing, another Arctic shot with negative 12 anomalies coming out of the mountains of Western Canada. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. And here it comes, negative 12s right across the northern plains. So this is going to be a significant shot of cold. Not sure if it rivals, well, probably does rival the one we just had. Not sure if it's going to meet it or exceed it, so we'll just have to wait and see. But this is significant, minus 12s at 850 with the anomalies getting into the Ohio Valley, and then a bullseye centered across the northern mid-Atlantic. So here it comes for Friday and Saturday, another shot of cold, so do not get used to this warm-up that comes in Tuesday and Wednesday. Taking a look at the GFS extended, this would be the CFS. This is last week's week 3 and week 4 anomalies, temperature anomalies that I showed you again during last week's discussion. Look how brutal this cold air outbreak is. This is nuts that it was showing last week. You know, one high after another. The hits just kept on coming. But a different story for this week, this week's anomalies off the CFS. So this is the guy you want to focus on this week 4 because I'll compare it to the new week 3 right here. Look, this guy right here. Look at this, okay? Look at it. It's not diving the cold air nearly as far south, telling me that these cold air shots are going to be more progressive, not as brutally cold on average. You may get a couple of wicked shots, but averaging it out over the week 3 period, you could see not as brutal with a battle line being drawn into the Tennessee Valley up into the Mid-Atlantic region. So that's going to be something to watch. At least week 4 gets it a little bit colder. You could see some colder values trying to sneak in, but not nearly as cold dominant as it was on last week's model run. So that's a significant change to note. Now, this is actually from January 6th. I wanted to show you the change that's taken place in Canada. So this was all the warmth that we had to begin January, okay? +2, +3 standard deviations above normal with temperatures on the Canadian ensemble. Now watch what happens, okay? All that warmth wiped out, neutral to negative values. So it's cold in Canada. That's the difference as we head into February. So it won't be as consistently warm as it was early in the winter because anytime we get a northwest flow, it's going to get significantly cold. So that's a difference from earlier in the winter. Now, the European ensemble, you can make out a digger of the shortwave trough. You could see a nice little embedded curve right there. You see that? Right there where that curve, right where that hook is. That's telling me there's a digger of the shortwave trough. But the cross-polar flow has been cut off here, see? You're not flowing from this ridge. You're going like that and not draining it down. So what does that mean? That probably means you don't amplify the trough in the east as much as you could have if you had cross-polar flow. You're also not getting that thumbnail ridge up into here connected like you did. So this next cold shot into the weekend, significant but more progressive. You see how that shortwave starts to get stretched out? You're not seeing that scoop, that nice hook embedded within the ensemble mean anymore? That's because the energy in the northern branch, as you get confluence, that means the speed increases aloft. And, energy gets sheared apart, and the northern branch is just whipping on through, and you really can't phase anything. There's nothing really to really dig this thing and phase it and get a big storm along the coast. So progressive cold looks like the way to go late in the week and into most of the following week. Maybe any warm-up that happens is brief. But again, the European tries to get a digger of the shortwave trough. You can see that scoop right here. You see that? That's telling me there's an embedded shortwave. The European ensembles are agreeing on that. But watch what happens. It just flies east. Okay, it just gets east, and you probably have another strong cold front situation that maybe you get a little bit of snow breaking out ahead of the cold air, but no big storms. Again, the ridge does not thumbnail, okay? It's more of a hybrid ridge like that. So you're not getting the blocking that you need. You want snow around here, this is what you got to do. You got to start to really thumbnail this up and connect it like this. Okay, and then you may have a shot at getting what we call discontinuous retrogression. You might be able to take this bulge here, and then you can back it up. Okay, you back it up, and then you would sharpen this whole trough. But I'm not seeing that on any of the models, at least with the ensembles. So not too bullish on a big snowstorm anytime soon. We'll continue to track it for you and see if anything changes. So again, recapping the big change. Progressive cold, it looks like. Maybe not as brutal as it looked at this time last week going into early February. My February forecast temperatures either normal or slightly below normal, precipitation below normal. That's your weekly weather update. I'll see you next week on YouTube.